silly little... All right, Pops. Put a smile on your face. Hey, there you are. All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Pops.
Thank you.
You bet. YouTube's just being a real jerk.
Well, okay.
All right, folks.
Thank you, B. I think it's just taking longer to load.
It's just taking its time.
Yeah.
We gotta get a new device eventually. Blah 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 blah. Okay. All right.
Well, I'm glad you were there. Thank you.
Gotta get stuff time to load too.
Yeah.
All right.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hit the like button on your way in. I like that one, HB. Good morning. Yeah, having a little technical difficulty the last couple of days with YouTube. And then another technical difficulty with Pops. Give me a second here. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. I'm sure glad my migraine went away yesterday afternoon. Terrible migraine Pops had. Top 5. Maybe it's stress. Duh. Good morning, everybody. Sure glad to be here. Good morning. Oh, nerdy, I'm telling you. That other one started Monday evening and lasted till yesterday evening. Thank gosh Brock was able to take care of everything, including me. Good morning, everybody. Push the like button or double tap your screen if you feel like it. Right, nerdy? I'm photophobic too. I have to be in like a dark room. I can't have any light. It pierces me from temple to temple. And you feel like such a bum guy because you gave away 24 hours of your life doing zero but suffer. Good morning, everybody. We're gonna have an interesting day here today. Good morning, everybody. Boy, for a couple of minutes this morning, we didn't cluster headaches. Never had that, but I definitely do the migraine. It's missing a cap. It's missing a cap. It got decapitated. That's what they call decapitated. Oh, Sue, I'm sorry to hear that. Decapitated. Good morning, everybody. I'm sure glad to see you guys here. Did I just see Hags? Good morning, Hags. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good headacheless morning. Thank goodness. And thank you guys all. I had so many people write to me and say nice things and thank you, checking on me. And then I also have, honestly, at the bottom of my heart, I have to thank Brock because he doesn't get a lot of notice when I wake up and I say, I can't do it. I can't do it, man. My brain hurts. And he's, I got you, Pops. That's his favorite thing to say. I got you, Pops. So thank you. Thank all of you. Is Carnivorous here? Thank you, Neff. I appreciate that, dear. Is Carnivorous here this morning? There he is, Carney. Carnivorous. I have to tell him something. A great podcast. Don't get political. And this isn't, she wasn't always my favorite host on daytime TV for my own personal reasons, and I've changed my mind. I love everybody, so I'm going to include her. Okay? Great. On today's Tricycle Day newsletter, I go through it every morning as soon as I get it. I grabbed one article in there we're going to kind of look at together. But there was another thing in there where they talk about a podcast, Oprah Winfrey's podcast with Michael Pollan. If you remember, Michael Pollan is the one that it talks about microdosing and LSD, and we have his book here. I actually kind of forget the name of it right now. You guys remember Michael Pollan. So check this out. Pollan, P-O-L-O-N. That's Michael Pollan right there. I'm going to play about 2 minutes of this while you guys say hi to each other. And hit the like button or double tap your screen. I started watching a little bit of this. I didn't have time to watch it all yet, but it looks fascinating.
Doing it with a guide creates this safe envelope, this container in which you can really let go.
Okay, so tell us about the time you tell about experiencing your parents in the trees.
Oh yeah. So I had
really tripping. But the realization that you had seemed pretty solid. And I am, Michael, I mean, it made me so curious because I'm surrounded by trees. I love trees. I think I have something is going on with me and trees. I don't know what it is. Your
Trees.
experience, tell everybody what that was.
I was doing a dose of LSD.
What does it even look like?
It's a very powerful drug. It's measured in micrograms, not milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
And you take a very, very tiny amount. And
So
it's
is
usually
it a
on a piece
pill
of paper.
or a powder or
It's usually on a piece of blotter paper. They just put a little drop and you put the piece of paper on your tongue, and that's enough. And the experience was, I saw my son, I saw my wife, I saw my parents, and there was this, it was like a tree house being built layer by layer by layer by layer. And it was a kind of a life review. And I emerged from it with this just surge of compassion for these people in my life. And I had this realization, which like 90% of people on psychedelics seem to have, which is the most important thing in the world is love.
Boom.
Now that's obvious.
Boom.
But the thing about
Did you
psychedelics,
feel it or experience it in a way that you didn't know before?
with a conviction that I hadn't had before.
Boom.
Yes. The
And does that
insights-
conviction stay with you after the experience?
Yes, exactly. You really hit on it. The kinds of insights you have on psychedelics, for reasons we don't really understand, are really sticky. This isn't just an opinion or an insight. This is like a revealed
It's a
truth of the
knowing.
universe.
It's a knowing. It feels like a knowing.
Exactly.
It comes through.
It's revealed knowledge.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch the rest of it. I was watching part of that, and I'm just waiting for Michael Pollan to download some incredible information and experiences. And he seems like such a sweet man. Speaking of sweet people, Carnivorous. sent me over the weekend. I didn't really reply to him because I knew I was going to do it live. Carnivorous sent me a book I had never seen before, and I'm already about 50 or 60 pages into the book. Carnivorous. Thank you. Look at this book he sent us. Microdosing for health, healing, and enhanced performance. There was one little section in there I thought was going to be really neat for us. Let's just talk about this one right here, right now. And Herbie and Derek, thank you guys for monitoring the people out there. This book is, Carnivorous, this book has turned out to be a fantastic book so far. Really, really appreciate your thoughtfulness to send it to us. And it's something I think we're going to all be able to share here. Okay. There's one section in here. It's in the beginning part of the book called The Basics. And it's called LSD and Psilocybin Differences. Differences. Would you guys like to hear what this author, James Fadiman, PhD, notes to be the differences between psilocybin and LSD? Give me 5 people. Give me 5 people that would like to hear the difference. Streety. Literally yesterday, I meant to reply to your beautiful, beautiful, beautiful email to me because I hadn't seen it till Sunday afternoon, and I went down with a whole migraine. So I'm going to get a chance later today to give you a quick response on a couple of thoughts. And I love you, my good man. I love you from the bottom of my heart, Straits. And thanks for sending me that email. I wish I had been more current in my reply. Okay? LSD and psilocybin differences. Oh, you are guys that are driving home now? Okay. Streety, I can't imagine. Especially with 5 of them with you. Woo-wee. Yeah, that's a lot of work and a lot of commitment. You're such a good guy. And I'd love a chance to meet her someday. What's the difference between psilocybin and LSD? This is among the most frequently asked questions. Early on in his research, Jim's colleague Sophia Korb reviewed reports from the vaults of Erowid.org website, where they catalog their experiences. You go on there and you'll catalog what your experience was with LSD and or psilocybin. They looked up 100 experiences with LSD and 100 experiences with psilocybin. They were all high dose experiences, which were presumed to be more likely than microdoses to show differences. So we're going to look at the differences. We're going to presume if you take a high dose and you take a high dose, there will be a bigger difference than if you microdose. Okay. Appropriate software programmed to ignore the words LSD and psilocybin during its analysis searched through these descriptions. It was not, and they put not in italics, it was not able to distinguish LSD generated reports from psilocybin related reports. So if you remove the word LSD out of the report, or you removed the word psilocybin out of the report, it came out virtually the same type of a report. Several studies, now that was based off of this one lady's analysis of 100 high-dose experiences on one side and 100 high-dose experiences on the other side. Several studies have looked at the differences between LSD and synthesized psilocybin, but they did not find any of their effects physiological or cognitive, except that the LSD lasted longer. For microdosing purposes, now we're going to microdose, not huge trips. I mean, not huge doses, but microdoses. Is there going to be a difference on the microdose level? What do you think? The science shows it's realistic to treat the two substances as mainly identical when dose levels are matched. You take a big one and a big one. You take a little one and a little one. Experience match. Experience match. However, we now also have thousands of written reports and survey reports on actual microdosing. These real-world reports agree as to a difference between the two substances. Wait a minute, we just said there's no difference. Maybe there is. A young man in Los Angeles summed it up like this. My friends who have been microdosing and high dosing with LSD and psilocybin over the past few years generally agree that the psilocybin is a warmer and friendlier experience, while LSD is more analytic and objective. That's interesting right there. LSD is better for the thinking than for the feeling. Another report concluded, LSD microdoses are more energetic and provide more reliable focused energy, while mushrooms are better for working with your heart and your emotions. It may be that the entourage compounds, in addition to the psilocybin in mushrooms, help to more directly bring forth emotions and even traumas, making mushrooms the preferable microdosing substance for such issues. Also, it's not uncommon with mushrooms, even at microdosing levels, for people to feel a connection to or a presence of a being or an entity of some kind. In conclusion, whatever the distinctions may be between LSD and psilocybin-containing mushrooms, their effects on improving health and enhancing health functioning are generally similar. As the psychedelic microdosing world opens up and more people start working with more substances, including Amanita muscaria, ayahuasca, San Pedro, and perhaps the iboga shrub, ibogaine. Better ways of working with each substance are now being tested and developed. So that's the end of that little section in there. This thing is chock full of information. Mr. Carnivorous, thank you very, very much for sending that to me. I'm gonna consume that book. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Here's the truth. Between you guys, you, me, and the telephone line, I've never done acid. Never done acid. I still remember being programmed back in the late 60s and the early 70s, how if I do, I'm gonna jump off a wall, jump out of a window and try to fly away. We were so programmed that I still have that in there. I still have that in there, and I know I'm wrong. I actually do. I'm objectively incorrect, but I'm subjectively, I might even say a little bit of fearful. So, and I haven't found myself getting there yet, but I probably will. I'm pretty sure I will at some point. It's almost like scientifically necessary, okay? Oh, and then growing up, I was always concerned with Brock, because Brock's like me. We tend to go 100% at everything we do. So I was always worried, like, you know, I don't want him to get started on something that he loses control over. So anyways, that's just a personal truth. I can't really speak to anything about LSD except for what I read, and I get input from others. I don't have a personal experience. Isn't that interesting? Great podcast. Now because we do this, there's two sides to every story, isn't there? That's what I've heard too, Four Leaf. LSD's gonna bring up some of that stuff, right? Do you guys think that Pops is the kind of guy that tells two sides to every story? Is that the kind of guy I am? I'm a two-story sider. I'm going to tell you two sides to every story. Let me do this first, though. Let me do this. Let me give you a couple of rando factos, okay? Quickies. When was the first roller skates invented? When do you think the first roller skates were invented? Don't look it up. No Google, no Google. Just take a wild guess. You'll probably be off by 200 years. 1880, 1830, 1930, 1879. You guys are all so in the future. You're so in the future. Nerdy, you're darn close. Michael's even closer. Michael in third. This is crazy. According to records, John Joseph Merlin is the first person credited with inventing roller skates in London in the 1760s. 1760s. He wasn't a good skater. He reportedly went to a masquerade party in London at the Carlisle House while wearing his new skates. And he got seriously injured after crashing into a big mirror at the party. Whoa! Whoa! Don't push me! Whoa! And then all you hear is... I wonder what the disco ball looked like at that party. Okay? That's funny. I don't care what anybody says. I think that's funny. Okay? How would you like to? He's probably wearing a wig. It's got the glass. What are they? Masquerade party. Okay? Oh, I feel bad for him. A bio-powered. You ready for this? You phone heads, cell phone heads. A bio battery powered by sugar. A bio battery powered by sugar with 10 times the power storage capacity of lithium was made by Virginia Tech researchers. This implies that cell phones could potentially run on enzymes. All we have to do is attach a mushroom to our cell phone and we're off. That's nuts. How about this one? How about this one? Yeah, you talk about a sugar high. You talk about a sugar high. I didn't know this one. I really didn't know. I know what scuba means. Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Am I right? You guys are going, oh, Pops, that's exactly what it means. What's taser? Where'd taser come from? Talk to me. Taser. You ready for this one? One of the inventors of the taser, John H. Jackcover. That's a name. John H. Jackcover. Don't tase me, bro. He was one of the inventors of the taser. They named it after his literary character, Tom Swift. The word is actually an acronym for Thomas A. Swift's electric rifle. What? Thomas A. Swift electric rifle. That's what taser means. Welcome to the 40s. Yeah. How old was Louis Braille when he invented Braille? How old was Louis? Louis is a pretty fascinating guy. Louis Braille. In 1824, while being only 15 years old. You guys are close. 15 years old. Louis Braille developed the Braille system. He actually became blind at the age of 3, and he's inspired to find a way for the blind to read and write. They still use that to this day. They haven't come up with a better system yet. 1824. Little kid. That's pretty cool. I'm going to read one or two more. Radar ranges. What's a radar range? What's a radar range? Tina, it kind of fascinates me too, but I didn't have the patience to learn it. I didn't have the patience. And I agree with you, Bill. Imagine how many people, blind people, he's helped communicate. That's amazing. SSW, you're absolutely right. A radar range was the first microwave. The invention is generally credited to an American engineer, Percy Spencer, who created it after World War II from radar technology developed during the war. The first radar range was sold when? When do you think the first radar range was marketed? Radar range. Just hearing that, I don't want to cook with it. When do you think the first one? 1946, the year after the war. And here's my final one for you. 1946. They were already selling them then, Matthew. I'm sure that they, improved them through the 50s. I remember the first microwave we got when we were kids. The thing was the size of, it was big. It was really big. And my mom was scared to death of it. None of the kids could touch it. She used it to heat up dinners or something. I don't remember. It sat in the kitchen, but we were so afraid of it, we didn't use it. Don't go near that box. Well, why'd you bring it in the house? Okay. They were big, Sue. Heavy. It's like, you're not allowed to use it, though. What? I don't know. I'm so confused. In Japan, a typhoon turbine has been developed by inventor Atsushi Shimizu. It can withstand typhoon force winds and convert the energy into electricity. In fact, one typhoon could power all of Japan for 50 years. Well, why the hell aren't they using the thing then? I put out about 3 or 4 of those typhoon turbines. Are you kidding me? Let's do North Korea, South Korea, Vietnam, Cambodia. Let's do them all. Put out 1 billion of those things. Come on, turbine guys. Pretty fascinating. People are brilliant, aren't they? And yeah, true hearts, but they need the sugar battery. Good morning, True Heart. I'm glad to see you here this morning. Let's talk about the other side of things. We're a two-sided team here. I was telling Brock just this morning, we do a really good job as a community of buffing up and telling everybody how wonderful everything is, but we're not very balanced. I try to be. I try to make sure everybody sees every side of things, or at least the important sides. I didn't used to. I'm very good at propaganda and making everything sound better. And let's hide the stuff that you're really not supposed to talk about. When healing goes sideways, this is an article that editorial from Tricycle Day today. Psychedelics have been hailed as a miracle cure for PTSD, depression, and practically every other existential crisis short of filing your taxes. I would love to be able to just do a microdose and not have to do my taxes. But what if sometimes they made things worse? That's the uncomfortable question posed by researchers in a new study published this week. This paper introduces a concept called psychedelic iatrogenic structural dissociation, which sounds like something you'd need to hire a plumber for, but it's actually way more serious. Do you guys want me to go on this subject? Do you guys want me to go on? Psychedelic iatrogenic structural dissociation. Shouldn't we hear both sides? Here's the download. Trauma divides the mind. In trauma survivors, the personality often splits between the apparently normal part that handles daily life and the emotional part that holds traumatic memories. Psychedelics are amplifiers. These medicines can bring suppressed traumatic memories to the surface. That's great for healing with proper support, but it can be destabilizing without it. Signs of destabilization. Red flags can include persistent emotional flashbacks, derealization, feeling that reality isn't real, and depersonalization, feeling detached from yourself. Who's at risk? In one study, 40% of people reporting extended difficulties after psychedelic use had a history of childhood trauma. Look, discerning risks isn't sexy. It's about as fun as telling someone their retirement strategy shouldn't involve dumping their life savings into Fartcoin. Fartcoin. I didn't know there was one. It's important. No one's questioning the benefits of psychedelics. Not us, at least. But context matters. Set and setting matter. Prep and integration matter. Because for trauma survivors, especially, the line between breakthrough and breakdown may be thinner than a lot of us diehards want to admit. Better to acknowledge the risks than pretend we're all just one heroic dose away from a problem-free existence, right? I appreciate articles like that. It's not a huge article, it's just an editorial, but we gotta pay attention. There's one more thing here. Here it is. As I'm getting older, I acknowledged this recently to Brock. Many years ago, I worked on a flight line in the Marine Corps. I was an avionics technician on the flight line. And so jets and all kinds of I experienced ear damage back in the service. Not enough to claim it, but I recognized it. I lost exponentially a certain amount of hearing in my right ear. My left ear has always heard really well, but my right ear, I lost some hearing. So it was okay. I would just pay a little more attention this way. And in the last couple of years, I've been noticing, hate to admit it, but it's real. Thank you, Four Leaf. I am experiencing more hearing loss. Like just a little bit here or there. Not that long ago, I said to Brock, I might need hearing aids. It's not something I want to admit, but it is what it is. There's some research being done right now, NIF, on psychedelics. Psychedelics can perhaps spur new synapses in our ear cells. They're showing it to be the case in mice. Mice that have been dosed with psychedelics, we're starting to see that they have an increase in their ability to hear. Are you freaking out? Growing old is a bittersweet experience. While it brings with it many joys of life, it also carries the baggage of undesirable changes to the body. I'll give you another example. Crepey skin. As I'm losing collagen, my skin's getting crepey. I didn't say creepy. Even though I pump a little bit and stuff, the skin starts losing its collagen. One such hallmark of aging is the loss of synapses, the connection between neurons. I mean, do you agree, True Heart? Which is a key driving force for many neurodegenerative disorders. Okay? Melody, you have to turn it up an extra couple of notches now? I get it. This phenomenon is called synaptopathy. Synaptopathy. It can affect synapses across the board, causing detrimental changes to memory, such as Alzheimer's disease, or diminished sensory perception, as in age-related hearing loss. The burden of hearing loss is twofold. Not only does it affect more than 50% of the population, but it's also associated with a greater risk of age-related dementia. If you have age-related hearing loss, you have a higher chance of cognitive decline. I didn't want to hear that one. Certainly, there are no approved treatments for synaptopathy. But researchers have been looking into, me too, Niffer, but researchers have been looking into interesting candidates, psychedelics. Do you guys want me to finish this article? Give me 5 people that are losing their hearing and getting crepey skin, and this kind of might even apply to you. I only like reading stuff you guys care about. Okay? Classic, it's the real world, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, that's what happened to me, Joe Dees. Here we go. A leisurely afternoon of reading during the pandemic left Manor amazed that psychedelics could potentially treat a range of mental health diseases like post-traumatic stress, depression, and anxiety. It's like a silver bullet, he said. At the same time, the emerging reports showed that the drug could induce a plasticity in neurons. On digging a little deeper, Manor found a conference report. Are you waiting for this? Deeper digging, guess what he finds? A paper written in the early 1960s that showed enhanced hearing in people after they consumed LSD. The CIA didn't tell us about that part. Curious to find out if these effects stemmed from structural changes, Manor and his group studied the effects of psychedelics on mouse ear neurons and found that psychedelics induce the formation of new synapses in the cochlea, the hearing organ present in the inner ear. This is the first time that someone has reported an effect of psychedelics on neurons outside of the brain, said Manor with their preliminary findings. It was presented at an Association for Research annual meeting on February 24th, 2025. Many psychedelics act by binding a serotonin receptor too. Manor and his team found that these receptors are expressed in the mouse cochlea as early as 1 month after birth, suggesting that psychedelics could influence the cochlear neurons. So they obtained cochlear samples from adult mice that had normal hearing and were either exposed to psilocin or left untreated, and they labeled the synapses between the cochlear hair cells and auditory sensors using antibodies. A single dose, is that true, Four-Leaf? A single dose of psilocin was sufficient to cause a significant increase in the number of cochlear synapses as compared to the animals who were not exposed to the hallucinogens. A synapse function test revealed that the new synapses also led to increased signal transmission between the cells. The effects lasted for more than a month after a single treatment. A major drawback of psychedelics as therapeutics is their strong hallucinogenic effect. To combat this, Manor collaborated with David Olson, a chemical neuroscientist at the University of California, Davis, who has developed non-hallucinogenic psychoplastogens. I'm getting fascinated. When Manor and his not everybody wants to experience the psychedelic, but they want the healing. When Manor and his colleagues tested the effects of these modified compounds on the cochlear neurons, they observed the formation of new synapses as well as the growth of new neuronal protrusions. New growth. The group has previously reported that synopathy and age-related hearing loss precedes cognitive decline. Based on these observations, Manor thinks of the cochlear as the canary in the coal mine, serving as an early sign of neurodegeneration in the brain. It's a harbinger. It's a notification that neurons are degenerating, he said. His team has begun experiments to test if the stimulatory impacts of psychedelics on peripheral synapse formation has therapeutic potential to treat disorders such as hearing loss and neuropathies. End of article. I don't know about you guys, but I'm fascinated. So guess what? After I read this article, I recommitted myself to a little bit stronger microdosing regimen. Just a little bit stronger. Because I'm hit and miss on that. Just like I'm hit and miss on my adult vitamins. And I truly believe that if I have a reasonable microdosing regimen, that I can slow down any of the cognitive decline. That, things are harder for me to remember every once in a while. The hearing's going a little bit. Skin's getting a little crepey. And yet we have options. There's a lot of health available in nature. So I thought that was going to be interesting because I know a few of you are getting, climbing up there to the golden years just like Pops. Okay? Thank you for letting me share that article and the other things that we did this morning. And we'll continue to educate each other here. Right now, it's pretty hit and miss, Calico. I wouldn't even call it a regimen. Every once in a while, I feel like microdosing, and I take 2 early in the morning. But I haven't had a consistent regimen for about 3 years. When I did, I would do 4, take 2 days off, do 5, take 2 days off, and that was my system. Okay? What did Jesus Christ say that's so funny? He's always funny. He's always funny. Oh gosh, darn it. Okay. American one, there's a thought too, right? Let's do our reading for today. You want to do that? We might be getting out of class early today. Not to. Thank you, Calico. Not to. That's the name of this reading. The Book of Awakening, Mark Nepo. Okay. Oh yeah, it got me laughing. All right. I'm not even supposed to pay attention to you guys' comments. Derek and Herbie got it. You guys cracked me up out there. To reach a chord, just say not to. To reach a chord, just say not to. That's written by Seng Tixian, a Chinese guy. Almost 1,400 years ago, one of the first Chinese sages we know of offered this brief retort to those who pestered him for advice. He would say, not to. TWO. This reply is as pertinent as it is mysterious. To make some sense of it, we need to understand what isn't said. That everything that divides and separates removes us from what is sacred. And so it weakens our chance for joy. I want to say that again. I see so much division in the world, and one of my pet projects on the planet before I go, no division around me. That's why we don't talk about politics here. Someone just said, am I an atheist? What does it matter? When we start putting labels on each other like that, we start dividing each other. I'm an atheist. I'm an agnostic. I'm a Christian. I'm a Muslim. I don't want to hear any of that here. And I divide it from my life. I don't want division. And there's certain subjects around us that immediately bring to us division. They just do. And then we're so buried in our programs of I'm right and the other group is wrong that we end up dividing and dropping bombs on each other. And it's happened throughout the course of human history. There's never been a single time where those 20 years of not a war in recorded human history. 20 years. And yet we keep adding more labels and more labels every day. When are we going to get it? The division is against sacredness. Politics, same thing. This side's right, that side's wrong. Why do we have an aisle? Well, we're going to cross the aisle and we're going to have a, we're going to commit to being better. We're going to cross. What aisle? Why is there an aisle? Why are you guys sitting? Everybody sits. You guys sit on the left and you sit on the right. Why do you wear red and you wear blue? Why aren't we all wearing each other's colors? Why can't we sprinkle each other around the classroom? Why can't we throw the aisle out of the building? because we're humans and we're not all trying to get better. We're not. And so that's my political part of today, my religious part of today. I don't want to talk about any of that. I want to talk about how we can get together, not how we can be separated. To make sense of this, we need to understand what isn't said. That everything that divides and separates us from what is sacred weakens our chance for joy. Think about that. If I'm dividing myself right now, I'm weakening my chance for joy with you. How can this be? Well, to understand this, we must open ourselves to an even deeper truth that everything, you and I are the people we mistrust, and even the things we fear. Everything at heart follows the same beat of life, pulsing beneath all the distractions and preferences that we create. Birds aren't out there creating distractions. They're just experiencing the pulse of life. Fish, no big deal. They're just following the pulse of life. Once divided from the common beat of life, we're cut off from the abundance and strength of life. The way an organ can cut out of the body and die. So to find peace, to live peace, we need to keep restoring our original oneness. Our original oneness. Can you imagine if the world was listening? Tear down the walls. Burn every flag. Restore original oneness. We need to experience an ancient and central beat, which we share with everything that exists. Everything that exists. In feeling this common beat, we begin to swell again with the common strength of everything alive. You want to feel strength? Feel the beat, the common beat of everything alive. Yet we tend to lose our way when we're faced with choices. Tension builds around decisions because we quickly sort out and name one way as good and another as bad. This quickly twists into an either-or sense, that one is right and another is wrong. Anybody recognize that in our society? In prizing what we prefer, we start to feel a thirst for something particular, which when we get it, we call success. And a fear of not getting it, well, we'll call that failure. From all this, we begin to feel the tightening pressure not to make a terrible mistake. Thus, we are often stymied and confused because we forget that beneath our sorting out of everything into good and bad and right and wrong and success and failure, all the choices still hold the truth and strength of life, no matter what we prefer. To be certain, sharing a common beat does not mean that everything is the same. For things are infinite in how they differ. And faced with the richness of life, we can't value everything the same. But when we believe that only what we want holds the gold, then we find ourselves easily depressed by what we lack. Then we're pained by what we perceive as the differences between here and there, between what we have and what we actually need. We still need to discern 10,000 things we meet, but holding them to the light of our heart, we can say, not two, only one. and realize there's no wrong turns and no unexpected paths, no division, no boundaries. Not two, one. And the oneness is everybody, not just ourselves, our selfish selves. We're going to practice not being selfish on a regular basis. Let's do a final giveaway. I want to give away that stem. This stem weighs almost 5 grams. Let's get this stem sent off to somebody that could use it. There's some medicine coming your way, okay? So give me a number between 1 and 50. Go. First person to get this number on my screen will win the prize. Go. This is a stem missing its flower. There's no flower, there's no cap, that's decapitated. You can put up to 3 numbers on your line at one time. And this is gonna be fun. Wait till you open up and you look at it. It's like a biology project, a mycology project. Free the ancient one. Free. Free got it. Free, you said 2. And the answer was 2, sitting right there in the chute. Free, we're gonna free that ancient one. We'll send that to Free. Sound good, Free? Okay. Listen, thanks for being here today. Thanks for everything that you guys do for each other. I'm watching it from afar. I watch you guys on that little, your group chat on IG, and the kindness that you guys show each other. It's really quite interesting. I shouldn't say interesting. It's overwhelming. I look at how well you treat each other and you help each other and you communicate and you're positive and you're funny and you're you share experiences, all of that stuff. If you guys could ever sit in the pilot seat here and see how beautifully this plane is flying, it would just absolutely, it would blow your mind like it does mine every single day. Okay. Can you give that to Brockster for coming in? You bet, Free. I'm gonna give it to him. I'll give it to him. Actually, you know what, Free? He can get plenty here. I'm gonna give it to Mother Wolf, if that's okay. Mother Wolf, 1776. Mother Wolf had a 2 up there. Okay, let's give it to Mother Wolf. And then Brock can grab anything that he wants from us. Okay, I'll give him an open package. So Mother Wolf, I'm gonna need you to send me your address and I'll get this mailed out to you. Mother Wolf, okay? So we'll be sending that. And Brock has just been doing a great job. Thank you guys for recognizing that. Okay, and Free, thank you for being generous here this morning as well. So Mother Wolf, reach out to me at the DetroitMushLab.net. That's a website. Scroll to the bottom. There's a place you can send me an email, and send me an email as long as you're over 18 and in the United States of America. We'll be mailing that off to you. And thank you guys for recognizing that about the Beaster. Okay, makes me feel good when I see him get so much love. It wasn't always that way. He hasn't always had a group of friends. Can I tell you that? It hasn't always been. He hasn't always experienced this oneness. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys here tomorrow, right? 4 things before we go. Be impeccable with your word. It's super powerful. Use it for goodness and kindness. If you're about to say something creepy, just don't say it. Just forget it. Because it goes out and it comes in, and then you start doing it again and again. Practice perfection with your words. Don't take things personal. You can call me any name you want here. I'm not taking it personal. I don't know you, and your opinion of me means nothing to me, and you can't hurt me. I'm a Teflon man. You know why? because I didn't do anything that deserved you to say anything to me. I already knew that. I don't take it personal. Third, expectations. If I start having expectations of you guys or anybody, I just birthed a resentment if it doesn't happen the way I expected. And I'm not prepared to have a lot of resentments in my life. So forget expectations. If I'm doing something, I'm doing it because it's me, and it's what I have to do to be me. And then fourthly, just do your best. Yesterday, my best was holding my head on. My best was just staying here and limiting the trips to the vomitory. That was my best. Today, my best is what I'm doing today. And I'm okay with it. Those are your 4 things that you want to work on. You guys go have a beautiful day. Have a wonderful day. Sue Littlemeyer, hurry. Brian C. and SSW, sure was nice to see you here this morning. Nippy, I love you. Laura, have a divine day. Good morning, Tina. Aaron, thank you. Cat Meowzilla. Brian C., it's Teflon, isn't it? It's Teflon if you're impeccable. But if you're out there gossiping and you know it, you people might have something to say about it. Brian C., Shy, have a great day. Melissa G., nice to see you. Herbie Von Worry Kebab. Don Fike and Greenie, thank you, baby. Sue Littlemeyer, Calico Kid, Brian C., Sanam and Tina M., Four Leaf is Pops is a Mallard. HP, Mother Wolf, thank you, dear. Salmaldo, 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 tea service at a time. Melissa G, Jesus Christ in Australia. Melody Don, HP, Mr. 420 to you. Thank you, Carnivorous. Thank you. Rodman, SSW. Kimberly, I love me some Kim. Ishmael Barraza, Viegas. Melissa G, Michael in third. Michael Shanti Patterson, Melody Dawn, Trenty. Croak 'em if you got 'em. Nate, how are you, Nate? Jesus Christ, True Heart, nice to see you this morning. Jeremy T, and Notorious Skate. The Waz. You know what, Waz? It came yesterday evening. I wasn't feeling great. I haven't opened it, but I will today. Thank you. Thank you, my good friend. Married Michael, Mother Wolf, John Zook, Melissa G, Jesus Christ, Sanum, thank you. That was a good article, right? Free, I love you. Croaky, Married Michael, Pacers, love you too. Nipper, Pidgey, Page. There's my streety. How much do I like that guy? Love that guy. Jaden Bryant, Married Michael, Derek Anderson. I think I gotta go, Anthony T. Pops, peace, love, each other, oneness.